Moving on to the second part of the meeting, which is the prepared speeches. And tonight we have three prepared speeches. Two of them doing the same project. And before I call upon the speakers, I would like to invite the evaluator for speaker number one, Toastmaster Naeem, to give out his objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Naeem.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Good evening. Hello, everyone. I am here. So the purpose statements for, I believe, two of the speeches, or just the speaker number one, is for the member to learn about the different communication styles and identify his or her primary style. And the purpose of this speech is for the member to share the impact of his or her style on others. So I'm looking for Hizbullah or Bull's ability to show what kind of communication style that he has. So back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Naeem. I would like to invite the general evaluator, Toastmaster Karuna, to read out the note to the evaluator.
For the first speaker, the purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share the impact of his or her style on others. Understanding your communication style, Toastmaster Bull, over to you.
Have you ever felt that you are bossy, arrogant, or heartless? Well, it happened to me once I was in my study group discussion. It was a difficult assignment where we were assigned as a group to solve it. I took the initiative in the group and directed my friends in doing the work. Jaya, you do the question number 1. Han, you do the question number 2. And Isa, do the conclusion. Then, when my friends seek for advice as the group leader, I said to him, bro, you didn't even know this. This is simple. These are the way that I have communicated past few years. Now, when I reflect, it seems that I am kind of bossy or maybe arrogant. Deep down, I know I didn't mean that. I was just expressing myself without considering this whole situation. I believe many of you who are here felt the same, maybe misjudged or mistakenly understood. So, why does this happen? Ladies and gentlemen, it all boils down to our communication style. After partially completing this project and the questionnaire, I realized that my communication style is dominant on initiative and directive. I scored the lowest in my analytical and supportive style. Honestly, I couldn't agree more. In any social event, classes, meeting, or even in the office, I will be the first person to disturb my colleagues or my friend, aka networking with them. However, when it comes to make a decision or critical analysis, it requires triple amount of energy. I need to be more focused. The worst is I can't be very supportive. Some of my friends even didn't come to me to express themselves. because they feel that I'm not listening properly to them. So initiative, give order, not good in decision making, maybe not empathy itself. Well, what you can say that? It's a complete package of being a typical boss, isn't it? Well, I have to admit it. Beloved Toastmasters, remember, every master was once a beginner. Perhaps being a bossy may become my starting point in communication. Nevertheless, I did not quit and give up. I read self-help book, attend seminars on how to become good leaders, how leaders interact and communicate with their peoples. I apply those tips. With my natural communication style, which is initiative, I initiated to seek for help from my seniors and my friends and the leaders around me. I keep observing their little movement, body gesture, their saying, how they interact with their subordinate, how they give instruction. For example, let me give you some of tips that I apply and you may give a chance. Add the word please as a courtesy when you want to give an instruction instead of you must do that. Han, you become the timekeeper. No. Han, could you please become the timekeeper? Try to save more we compared to you. So that can be more inclusive and you are together with them. Lastly, as a leader, listen more than we speak so that we can understand and be more empathy to our subordinate. Now, you can try these tips and we may able to together improve our communications style. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually very proud to be here with every one of you. We are here as a community to improve our communication, isn't it? A leader is a great communicator. I believe that the moment a person signs up for Toastmaster, he is one step closer to become a great leader. I'm glad that I'm slowly removing the bossy trait to a leader trait, though I am not fully able to remove that. But learn, we learn together, learning with you all, BTM Elisha, Dr. Rashid, our club, this club ESCO's members, guests, evaluator, and it inspired me to keep move forward in becoming a good communicator. Hope this story might spark everyone here to shift their view from a boss to a leader by keep learning and improving ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Bull, for that very inspirational speech. In some countries, you are just exactly like a politician. Anyway. All right. Okay, I'm talking about Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is just like a politician. All right. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Bull. And we would like to move on to our next speaker. But before we move on to the next speaker, I would like to invite the evaluator of since speaker 2 and 3 are doing the same project. I would like to invite Toastmaster Salida, the evaluator for speaker 2, to read out the objectives of both speakers. Over to you, Toastmaster Salida.
Hello, good morning, good evening, everyone. All right, so the purpose statement for this project's speech is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she uses nonverbal communication when delivering a speech. So about the speech, the member will present a well-organized speech on any topic. Watch the member's awareness of his or her intentional and unintentional movements and body language. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. And the speech is not a report on the content of the effective body language project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Salida. I would like to invite the general evaluator, Toastmaster Karuna, to read out the note for the evaluator. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Karuna.
Thank you very much. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different. Sorry. Sorry, I'll repeat that again. The purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional. Do I read this or do I read notes for the evaluator?
The note for the evaluator.
Okay, notes for the evaluator. Sorry. Okay. During the completion of this project, the member has spent time learning about and practicing his or her body language, including gestures and other non-verbal communication. Toastmaster Jaya, adequacy is the key. Adequacy is the key, Toastmaster Jaya.
Hello everyone, am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, okay, thank you. Live a life that is well balanced. Don't do things in excess, said Daniel Smith once. But what is balance really means to you? What does adequacy means to you? Anybody would like to share one or two words? It can be anything that makes you feel you are balanced in whatever you are doing. It can be mentally, it can be physically, it can be emotionally, it can be your everyday things. Anybody would like to share? It's okay, all right. I'll catch you in the end. Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, from inspiring quotes through traditional wisdom, we must all be tired of hearing the word adequacy or balance repeatedly. Adequacy seemed boring and obvious to me until I came to realize its profundity. As part of the universe, the constant tendency to find adequacy applied in every aspect of our life. We are forever in search of peace and tranquility unconsciously. Our internal essence is akin to water. As long as nothing interferes, its surface will remain smooth and tranquil. But even with a slight disturbance, causes a ripple that travels outward with much gusto. Factors of chaos and disorders are all around us, and the key lies not in trying to eliminate them, but rather in trying to coexist with them. Today, I would like to share 3 tips on how to successfully achieve an adequate lifestyle. Perfect adequacy in everything you do in life be nigh impossible to achieve, just like any other form of perfection. But reasonable adequacy can be achieved. My first tip is to take a good care of ourselves. People might be thinking taking care of ourselves is selfish. Do you think so? I believe it's not selfish to love yourself, to take care of yourself, and to make your happiness a priority. It is something necessary. For instance, fuel your body right. Eat healthy food for most of the day, for most of the time, and drink lots of water every day. It's okay to get a burger or get a brownies here and there. Find a form of exercise that you enjoy and get moving with it. It can be running, it can be cycling, or it can be swimming. And it doesn't have to be an everyday activity. Either find a comfortable weekly frequency for you. Finally, take a good care of ourselves is to get enough sleep. Try to get at least 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night and begin the day fresh. Lack of sleep and going to work or office daily like a zombie is a sure short recipe for a disaster. Now, my second tip is to choose the job that you love. You will never have to work a day in your life. Passion is something that transforms work into fun. Following your passion sounds good on paper, but doesn't always translate well to reality. At least not instantly. It always gets to consumed by work when the line between work and life starts fading. It's crucial to know when to call it quits for the day and return to other aspects of your life. Work stress breaks a lot of damage. Remember, as I said earlier, don't do things in excess. My third and last tip is the human element. Spend quality time with your friends, your family, and your loved ones. Have wholesome conversations, laugh happily, travel to places, experience things, forge memories, do whatsoever you like to. Embrace the positivity and cut out the negativity from your life. You don't need a toxic circle to surround you. It's the hard truth today that since the advent of social media, the human element has been endangered. Social is being replaced with the social media nowadays. My dear Toastmasters and guests, the more often you decline invitation to spend time with friends, families, and loved ones because you are too busy either with your work or other activities, the more you should realize that you are doing things in excess. Last but not least, be adequate in whatever you are doing in your life, and that's a key for a successful lifestyle. Too much of one thing can end up creating stress. That's something that no one needs in life. But having an adequate lifestyle can provide harmony and peace. Create your adequacy in life and don't let anybody to tell you how to live according to theirs. Remember, get drunk on Saturday, but don't forget your green tea on Sunday. Back to you, TME.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jaya, for that wonderful speech. I think we all know what our goal for 2022 is: adequacy. All right. Thank you very much for that. So moving on to our next speaker, our third and final speaker for tonight, Toastmaster Han, with the speech title, A Reminder to Myself. A Reminder to Myself, Toastmaster Han. Over to you.
Can you hear me and see? yet another meaningless day after work. And yet, there's still a meeting tonight? Seriously? And tomorrow, right 7:30 a.m. in the morning, there's another presentation I need to do. Oh God, man, seriously, is this the life that I'm going to go? Is this the life that I really wanted? It is not as what I expected before I start my internship at all. Not at all. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt sensation as me? Like your wings are clipped. You are like in a caged bird. You want to fly out, you want to show everyone that you can fly up to the outer space, but you are not given an opportunity or environment to do so. You felt that your capability is being limited. Do you think that you feel you are not treated well, that you are not given the trust that you should be given? Believe me or not, ladies and gentlemen, this is how I felt before I go back and went on to celebrate my Chinese New Year. 3 months ago, or should I say 4 months ago, because we are entering February now, I drive from Penang to KL in a straight, direct 5 hours of drive. Going up to the mountain, down the slope, I was not feeling a single sense, a tiny bit of tiredness, because I was so excited about my new assignment and my internship in Petronas Twin Tower. Believe me, after 6 years of study in oil and gas field, I really felt that it is the time for me to prove to everyone that I am capable of being the next generation engineer. That I could think, that I could design a well or a project that are on par with any other engineer in the company. And it is also the chance for me to meet up every wonderful people, every wonderful manager, senior manager, top management, Dato, Tengku, everyone in the company of Petronas. That was my dream so far. After 6 years of study, reading slides, eating books, staring at the PowerPoint slide, talking to my lecturers, listen to Boo. Oh my God, man. This is the final moment that I was always waiting for. But things doesn't really go the way that I want. I can still remember the day when I first report to the company. Guess what? The HR manager doesn't even notice that we are going to report that day. Do you believe that? That we are not informed by the HR manager to report on that particular day. There were no desk prepared for us. There was no introduction. There was no induction session for all of us. I could still remember 10 of us sitting at the lobby of Petronas Twin Tower, looking at each other and saying, are they serious about this? We were basically coming here for nothing. And so, it's okay. I am patient. I wait and wait until the day has been gone. And only will be informed at 4:30 p.m. that we are going to have another session in the following week. Alright, first challenge of the year. First challenge of the beginning of my internship, where I am not even begun yet. It's okay, I said to myself, so I waited on the next week. And so I came in. It is a December, a month blessed with a lot of public holidays, a lot of festivals, wonderful for those who want to celebrate, but not wonderful for us as an intern, because the floor was completely empty. There was none other than 10 of us looking at each other, exploring every corner in the floor, looking at the toilet bowl even. And that's the only thing that we can do for the whole freaking month of December. And still, I thought to myself, perhaps things will get better in January, that I will start to get an assignment, I could start to see on papers, I could start to go to the field and look at actual stuff. There is going to be a gigantic mega structure right there, out there in the ocean, offshore Terengganu. But guess what? Until today, I didn't even get the chance to do so. All I was assigned to do was, can you book a meeting room for 8 p.m., about 10 person? Can you go to the coffee shop and buy some coffee and order some food and beverage for the meeting later? Can you compile the attendance list that we have in the meeting room? And if we have any other job, we will inform you. And that is all my job is all about after 2 months of internship in Petronas Tindau. You may find it hard to believe, but that is the reality. And for that, my interest, my passion dropped tremendously. Time, people say time is a sword. And for me, time is the butter knife. And the butter is my passion towards my job, my ambition towards what I expect in my internship. I expect myself working, dressing in the cover of, looking at paper, design paper, carrying all the equipment in the field. But what I was actually doing is carrying 2 bags of coffee and peanuts and even took some donuts up to the meeting room and asked everybody, do you want anything else? And that's not something that I really love to do. So I was very desperate. I was caged like a bird. I kept on talking to my friends, I kept on talking to my parents, and they are the only one that I can speak to. I really express myself to them, tell them my situations. But something came up during the Chinese New Year. My mom said to me, they remember the time where you aspire to be a mechanical engineer, but you still ends up in Petronas UTP learning petroleum engineering. There was still a time where you feel the whole world have abandoned you and not given you a chance, but somehow I grow interest towards what I have studied. So these words is what my mom told me, and a reminder to myself that perhaps something happened in our life. These challenges is something that is already arranged for us, because it will always mean something before you realize it in the future. And it is that words and that sentence itself that makes me pluck out my confidence again to be more optimistic and to be open-minded to what I am going to be facing in the last 2 months internship here. And before I end, I would like to just tell to myself, whenever I was watching this recording, please tell yourself everything happened for a reason. Remember that and be valiant toward every challenges that you have that time. Thank you very much, and back to you, Toastmaster David.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Han, for that motivational speech. Love the shirt, by the way. Nice shirt. All right. Thank you. Thank you to all the prepared speakers for tonight. That is the end of our prepared prepared speaking session.
Well, and you're so cool, calm, and confident. Thank you very much. I think all the speakers will be very happy to go back as valiant as the title. Next, we have the project speakers, and the first project speaker was evaluated by Toastmaster Naim. So, Toastmaster Naim, the floor is yours.
Testing. Hello, Karuna. Can you hear me? Right, fantastic. Toastmaster Hibullah or Bull, congratulations. I really enjoyed your speech. And you began with being bossy, elegant, or heartless. And when you said those words, it instantly caught my attention because one, not only was it a very good beginning, an opener, hook, but it was also something I used to do. So I really, really understood what kind of communication style that you had. And I think me and you, we both resonate onto the same level. And towards the end, it really showed that simply knowing one communication style is not enough. As a leader, as what we're doing right now in Toastmasters, we need to understand everyone's communication style and really try to learn and become a better speaker in the end, which is very, very good. And I can see the transition from being a bossy leader to a bossy leader. I'm hearing a bit of echo, sorry. Now, what you really did well, which something I really like, is that I can really see that you practice, didn't you? I can see that you actually rehearse your speech. Why? Because you seem more composed. You seem to know what you're doing, especially at the very beginning. You seem to have already practiced and rehearsed this speech multiple times in your head, and then this is your fifth or sixth time. I can really see it. However, towards the end, I can also see that you're not as prepared as the first part. Maybe you're a bit rambling towards how do I say this? Because sometimes you look away from the screen and trying to memorize and remember what we're trying to say in the beginning. But no worries, practice more and you'll be better in the end. Another thing that I really liked is that, well, you have a talent of being very animatic. I feel as though if it wasn't this kind of speech setting, if I were to meet you in person and talk to you, I imagine you to be someone who's very animated, someone who has a lot of energy, and also someone who has a lot of jokes. And I can really see that you're trying to put all your styles, all your personal communication skills into your speeches. And I really like to see more of that. I can see that you already have the talent, you already have the principle. You need a bit of practice. And that's something I really want to emphasize if you really want to take your speeches to the next level. Look at other speeches online, such as TED Talks or maybe Toastmasters. There is a skill to which how you present a joke or how you has to say, set up that humor, set up that joke, and how to deliver it. Along with when do you make your speech or your voice louder, softer, slower, or faster? You need to keep practicing. You need to really watch other people's speeches. And then you really see when do you incorporate different styles in different scenarios because you already have the skill. You already have the talent. All you need is a bit of practice. Same as before, keep practicing, Rula. You're a very good job. I really like your speech, and I'm really looking forward to more of your speeches. Very good job. Thank you very much. Back to you, Karuna.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naim. As usual, splendid evaluation, giving them tips from before till now as you follow them through, giving them the room to be more valiant in the future. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Naim. Next, we move on to the second project speaker, and the evaluator is Toastmaster Salida. The floor is yours.
Toastmaster Salida, I think you're unmuted.
Okay, sorry. Thank you very much. Toastmaster Jaya Sankari, congratulations. You have successfully delivered a great speech. In general, my evaluations on your speech today will be centering on the physical message of presentation, whether it's intentional and unintentional movement. This includes your posture, your eye contact and gestures, and how you move your hands or arms. Sankari, your captivating and well-organized speech brought us on perspectives of adequacy in life. There are few things that I like about your speech and presentation tonight. You started with a non-verbal cues of connection. You tried to communicate with all of us by asking questions and engaged with the audience. It's through your smile, your eye contact, and your body language. You have successfully utilized verbal and non-verbal audience interaction to keep your audience engaged and involved in your speech. You stood up tall, you open up, you embrace all of us, the audience, then you lead us into your stories and getting all of us to explore your speech. And what I think about your speech is this effect this had was to first and foremost has established you as an authority so that all of us trust you before you introduce the whole story, the whole presentation that you have designed. Simple and yet powerful. Point number 2, your hand gestures as a storytelling tool. You put verbs into action by acting them out with your hands. You have enhanced your messages and amplified your story through your hand gestures and help you come across as more genuine and believable. I noticed yet that you did not overdo it and focus on action words and you made your gestures strong and defined. Congratulations. So you are very good in using your hand gestures, yeah? This is an essential element of non-verbal communication in showing others how you feel and in turn how you made me feel. That is the most important thing is. And I will call this your magic wand. This magic wand has helped you to enhance your messages and make you seem more confident and relaxed. You use symbolic gestures to communicate numbers and position, to communicate movement, feelings. You clasp your hand together to show pleading and so on. The next point would be your vocal tone. Your speaking style, your pitch, the rate and volume all contributed to understanding yourself as a speaker from my perspective. Changes in your vocal tone during your speech was a noticeable non-verbal cue that contributes to audience understanding of your delivering your speech. However, I feel that it may be improved by having more vocal variety and appreciate pauses in your speech. Now, Jaya, as good as this speech is, there is always room for improvement. The first thing that I think that you can improve in your speech is by striking the power pose. Now, how to strike that power pose? All you need to do is just stand straight with your shoulders, back and feet shoulder width apart, and conquer your stage. Make sure you feel comfortable with your stage. And place your hands at the side of your body so that you can easily make hand gestures when you need to. And try as much as possible. And if you're in a large room, just imagine tilt your whole body towards different parts of the audience so that everyone feels included and participating in your speech. And why did I suggest this power pose to you? Because this power pose can actually raise testosterone levels and helps to lower our cortisol levels. What will happen next? It will increase your dominance level and lower your stress on the stage. So if you have the confident body language and pretend you feel powerful, you are more likely to actually feel it. And who doesn't want to feel powerful on stage, right? Okay, so I leave it to you. Last but not least is adding expressions in your speech. Expressions and take a pause. People depend on facial expressions to interpret our motives and emotions. So an audience will respond better to us if we are expressive when we deliver our speech. This is like a bit of acting. You want to emphasize your expressions so that the audience can interpret meaning from them. How? So for example, if you want to show your frustration or confusion, maybe you want to raise your eyebrows or you want to frown. For sad moments, from a little and slightly tilt the sides of your lips downwards. All right. So Toastmaster Sangri, to conclude, it was an excellent attempt. You started your speech with non-verbal cues of connection. You have utilized wisely your magic wand, your hand gestures, and your voice tone, and to bring your speech to the next level. Remember, to engage and hook up with the audience, hook up through an effective body language, hypnotize the audience through an effective body language, and personal storytelling techniques. Make it more conversational and engaging. Don't forget to strike the power pose. Take us to a deeper dive of your speech by weaving the expressions and appreciate pauses. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Evaluator Toastmaster Salida. Very comprehensive, and I think we have gained a lot. All of us have gained a lot through your detailed evaluation. Thank you very much. The third project speaker was evaluated by Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Tay. Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Tay, over to you now.
Thank you, Han. I always enjoy your speech because you are such a natural speaker. Today, somehow your voice was very low. The entire speech, I had to lean myself towards and hardly heard your voice. Nonetheless, I could catch your point. To meet the objective of your speech, generally, I look for 4 areas. 1, how do you express your emotion? Second, how do you bring out the attitude of your speech? 4, how do you enhance the content of your speech? Number 4, did you aware of your unintentional movement? Back to 1, emotion. I felt your emotion. I felt your frustration. That was very clear. Okay. And then your attitude was gentle. Despite all the frustration, you were in good control. That was a very good quality you display yourself. Enhance your speech content. Yeah, you did have some shoulder gesture, hand gesture. I will get to that later. In terms of awareness of unintentional movement, I noticed that you were not aware about your eye look towards the left more. So because this pattern carry on the entire speech, that convinced me that you did not pay attention, you were not aware of your unintentional movement. Okay. As to for the area for improvement, I would suggest that you prepare yourself earlier because you did have some technical issue to begin with. Second, I will also, because of if you can prepare yourself earlier, your voice could have been heard clearer. That would also cover that. Last but not least, your position. I did not see your body until at least the wavelength that totally missed out your hand. I did not see your hand. That's I could see only once a while your hand waves a little bit from the line. I can see a little bit, so I could tell that you had some hand gesture. That's why I said I'll get back to here. And your shoulder, all these things. If I could see half of your body, that will give me a firm answer whether you had the gesture and shoulder enhance your speech contents. Overall, I still enjoy your speech because this is a real case, real story. You spoke with conviction. I could feel your frustration. You were kind of self-talk, complaining in a way, but despite you were in a very composed way of complaining, gender, I like your attitude, you were very pleasant. Just focus on the 3 points that to improve on. The one first, prepare area so that you would not have the technical hiccup. Third is the positioning. Always show it, especially for this speech, that you need to show your body language. You need to have at least half of your body to be seen. Okay? All the best. I look forward to your next speech. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Tay. Very comforting, yet very frank evaluation. And I think Toastmaster Han, you have some constraints today. Doesn't matter. Be valiant like the tiger and move on, move forward. Right? You will achieve what your goals. I should say.